Hello, teacher. Good night. This is my submission for the project of the first partial term, and it's about my take on the book Spirit, the Age of Spiritual Machines. Sorry, I had to read it because I get nervous in front of a camera, and it's by Ray Kurzweil. It's a very interesting take. I have resonated a lot with this kind of topic, so let's go through it. I'm going to make my summary, not my summary, my analysis in each part of every book by chapters. So in broad terms, it has to do with how machines are evolving and how our relationship to them is going to evolve, and how important it is for our evolution as a species. Evolution in the book is defined by change in how the in related with the context of what we are living. Basically, it's something that happens naturally, like something that we adapt to. So it also predicts about the things that have not happened, and things that already happened that happen to be true, and that's a very good analysis in how technology is behaving with us. So the first chapter talks about the law of time and chaos. It talks about the Big Bang, how in the levels of matter, from subatomic to quasars, how do we get to there, and entropy, and it talks about when the universe is expanding. Every in this very moment is expanding, and as it expanding and it's getting bigger, it causing more chaos, and therefore if there's more chaos, time gets slower. That can happen in an experiential standpoint from a person. That's something I have lived with my life experiences. Something that brings a lot to think about and to reflect upon. So it talks about how our evolution in terms of Darwinian perspective is going to stop. We're going to hit a ceiling, and that ceiling would not become an issue because it's not that there's a ceiling. There's a ceiling in according to the book. There's a ceiling, but that ceiling is just from the standpoint, Darwinian standpoint. So how are we going to evolve? It's going to be by technology, by how are we advancing so fast as a civilization, how the computers we created 60 years ago have nothing to do with the processing power that the computers that we have now invented are doing. So, and it's something that nobody expected. So it's a very interesting topic. So, and in that case, technology also is going to invent more technology that's going to be more advanced than that technology, and it's going to be like a cycle. Okay, what Ray does in his book, and it's something I like too much. It's not like the philosophy of Isaac Asimov, or like a like an orient or like a sci-fi oriented perspective. Is more like optimistic perspective, because what the author Ray Kurzweil thinks is that we're going to merge with the machines and with the robots, and part of our evolution as a species, as a consciousness, it's going to be part of what we created. So in that terms, we're kind of gods. But we got to stay humble, I think so. Second chapter talks about the intelligence of the universe. It talks how, like I said before, that how evolution, it's a it's a process, it's a natural process that's going to happen no matter what, because the only constant is change. So the third chapter talks about conscience of machines. First of all, we have to define what makes us conscious. And one of the main factors of how we evolved from Homo habilis to Homo sapiens is because we gain consciousness. With Homo habilis, we knew we were thinking, but with Homo sapiens, we knew that there's something that knows we're thinking. That's the conscience. Something to it's something to have an eye on, by reading this book. So, what makes us conscious? That's what chapter 3 talks about. Chapter 4, it's a new form of intelligence in humans. So, computers need sorry, computers need much more right now to be able to do what we can do. There are computers, it's our common reference in the book that in chess, computers had beaten us, and it's been a while that computers are better than us in chess. But the problem is that they are not able to do other tasks. They're not, because they haven't gained that consciousness. But there are, in terms of their progress, they are progressing so fast that they're going to beat us in the race of evolution. So it's fast, and it's going to be very for the book, it's something that is predicted, but we as humans, in our experience, it's something that it's so difficult to pinpoint, to something that will take us off guard, just as take we are like that also in this kind of age where technology has advanced so much. I remember that computers used to have you well more concise example is that the maximum capacity for external storage was like 20 years ago was less than 8 gigabytes, and now there's external storage for computers that have exceed more than teras and teras, and they don't call it teras anymore. It's like, how do you call it? No, tera. I don't know how's the nomenclature, but it's so big. It's a freaking large number. So, chapter 5 talks about the it's called the knowledge of context. It's about how they're going to overcome our intelligence, the machines, and it defines intelligence. It defines it as the ability to perform tasks and formulas. That's it. We're designed like that. Computers are designed like that. We function a lot with circuits in our brains. Computers also do it like that. And they are having the ability to learn. And that's something that we have currently more evolved, but not for much long. So, chapter 6 talks about building new brains. It sounds so strange. It's a fact that machines are going to outsmart us. So, the best kind of tactic, according to our beloved Ray Kurzweil, is that we should, for our own well, will join them. In fact, we're going to do it as a way to merge the physical, natural part of us with the technological part of things. Technological stands by things that cannot be done by nature. Let me rephrase it. Technology stands for things that cannot be done by nature. It's made by nature. We make a fork with with materials from nature. We make electricity from materials from nature. But what we do is we experiment with it. We build new things that have a different purpose than the natural things. So that's about it, the chapter 6. Chapter 7 talks about what about the bodies? What about the bodies? If in chapter 6 they are saying, the author is saying that we're merging with the machines, sort of like a cyber. In chapter 7 it goes beyond that. It says, what about if we don't need our physical bodies? Like a science fiction movie. It reminds me like the movie Lucy or Hair, that they have reached point where they can divide their consciousness in a lot of things. And in that case, our human experience is based on our instinct, our not instinct, our senses. But in that case, our senses will be expanded to a lot, to limitless possibilities. Something that it's ineffable to explain in this current moment as experience, but he claims that it's going to happen. The next chapter, that is chapter 8, talks about the first prediction is in 1999. It talks about the revolution of computers. That computers are evolving too fast. That was the year that we saw how in chess computers can beat us. That was something that nobody expected. And in chapter 9, it talks about, in another prediction, it talks about in 2009 that there was a substantial advancement with computers. It says that for $1,000 we could get a processing power that could do 1 trillion of processes. And that's something that's currently now, and we see it as nothing, but it's so groundbreaking. The other prediction is that in 2019, with $1,000, we could machines will be able to have the same capacity, same process and task capacity of humans. And that's something I didn't know. It's something that caught me off guard. I was like, no, computers are not that advanced. I know they have invented quantum quantum computers that they, instead of functioning with the binary system, they function like a whole. One can be a zero and vice versa. It's it's mind blowing, to be honest, how fast this is going. And one of the other predictions for 2029, it says that with $1,000 you could make the intelligence, you could make the computer with the capacity and intelligence of 1,000 humans. That, if that is not mind blowing, I don't know what is. Like I said before, it's like in the movie Lucy. That it's a, if you haven't seen a teacher, it's about, I know you have seen it, but in the end, it's about a girl that reaches maximum cerebral capacity, because it's often told that our capacity only reaches like mostly 10%, and she reaches 100%. And what happens when she reaches 100%? She becomes part of the, I don't know, the matrix. She goes to a computer and her consciousness expands to it. So mind blowing. I don't even know how that's going to be possible, but I guess that reality is more impressive than fiction. And it's going to be achieved that through nanotechnology. Nanotechnology is, like I said before, technology is how you can manipulate things to our own advantage. But with nanotechnology, we do it in a level of matter so small. Nano, it's in a scale type of numerical scale. It's referred as 10 to the minus 12. So it's very little, very little. And it has been proven that with nanotechnology we can, in terms of the in chemistry field, we can do a lot of things that we thought were impossible, like with gold. Gold, the point where gold can become liquid, change its state to liquid, is with 1,600 Celsius. But with nanotechnology, it has been proven that if you separate the molecules in a nanometric way, you could get liquid gold with just applying 800 Celsius of heat. So that's a big thing. And also quantum computing have been discovered and by that kind of technology also. So that's the big thing. That's a big thing that is going to evolve in time. So the last prediction is in a lot of years. Not so much. Time goes by so fast. I hope to be alive to see that. So it's 2099. 2099. And it says that by that point, he claims it with a lot of confidence. He claims it that there will not be any distinction between humans and computers. There will not be. I don't know what to think about that. we will we will not need bodies most of the time. We could just be transported to our consciousness to everything. We will be connected to everything. It sounds like alien technology to me, but I think it's a very good analysis in how things are evolving. This chapter and this prediction had me with the mouth open, like what? That's not possible. But I come to think a lot of things. It's very crazy. I don't know what to say about that. It's just impressive, and it makes a lot of sense, a lot. So this was my delivery with this partial. So hope you enjoy it, and hope my analysis was good and and gave something new, a new perspective to your teacher. Hope you're having a wonderful day.